So, excuse my hair. I got a headache. My hair was tied too tight. So I am going to show you guys the black soap that I use. I usually just go to this store called Afrocentric in West End, and I get a brick of black soap, and I cut the brick up, make smaller bars of soap. Now, the upside to black soap is that it's 100% natural. It's great for your skin. It evens out your skin tone. It's a bunch of stuff. I'll show you the label. But the downside to that is that it gets used up very, very quickly. That's why I buy a whole brick and cut it into smaller pieces, because if I just bought just the bars, I'd be going to the store at least once, maybe twice a week. With one bar will probably last me maybe 4 or 5 days. So it goes pretty quickly. But let me show you the brick. So this is the brick that I buy from Afrocentric. Ooh, it's still on the paper. So this is it. I don't know, maybe this is about, I guess, a foot. I don't know. But this is the brick that I get. Usually I will cut it in half. You see it's pretty wide. It's like my hand. So this will be 2 bars. So once I cut it in half, cut 2 bars each, I could probably get 8 bars a side maybe. I try to cut the bars as even as possible. Then for any that are not even and say they're smaller than usual, I will cut those smaller and use those for my face, and then have the bigger bars that I use for my body. Yes, I cut bars out of this for both my face and body, because I do not use the same piece of soap for my face and body. Yes, it's still the same thing. So I get a knife, and usually I'll like mark it out where I'm gonna cut. But once I'm in there, it's pretty hard to cut. So I gotta really like get into it, and you'll see in a minute. Like I said, I'm gonna cut it in half, save the half that's not gonna be cut down into bars for when I use the ones that I am gonna cut down into bars. I cut down the middle first, and like I said, set that one to the side. And then for the bars, I actually have a bowl here. It does not have a lid, but I'll cut the bars, put them in here, and sit them under my sink. And sometimes I'll cover it with like plastic wrap. Yeah, so I'll cut the bars, I'll put them in that bowl, and then once one runs out, I'll just grab another. And then once I get to the bottom of that, cut up this and repeat the cycle. I've been doing this for a very long time, going to buy the raw black soap from Afrocentric in the West End. But you can buy it wherever black soap bricks are sold. So like I said, we're gonna cut the brick in half. All right. And I really gotta like, ooh, that hurts. You see that line right there? I really gotta get into it. And then once I break the soap itself, I just kind of move the knife down the soap until it is cut. So there we have it. There's one side, one half. This is probably going to be the half I'm going to save. So I'll wrap this back up in the paper that it came in and save that one for later. But for now, I'm going to sit it to the side. Burn my hand on Thanksgiving. Making a mac and cheese, child. So let's see, I can map this out. I can get 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, cool. Yeah, so I can get 4, dare I say, slabs out of this. Let's cut down on these. And sometimes just because the soap is kind of hard, you know, the knife, it may be uneven. It may not sometimes. But just try to keep it as even as possible. So that's what it looks like when it's cut. And then with this here, I'm gonna cut it down the middle, and that'll be my bar. And there it is. Or I could keep going and cut it that way too. But like I said, this bar alone is gonna last me like 4 or 5 days, maybe even 6 because it is kind of big. But for the most part, like these go pretty fast because like I said, it is a 100% natural products. And then once the bar is cut, I set it in there and that's it. But these seem really big. So I think I'm gonna cut them down again. Sometimes I like the bars are so big for whatever reason. But yeah, this looks like your standard size. So that's that, and then I'll put them in the bowl. And another thing with black soap is once it's cut up, it's very easy to like, it's a soft soap yet a hard soap. Like you see how hard it was for me to get into it, but it's kind of a soft soap because it's very easy to break once you kind of break it down into smaller pieces. And like that, these little pieces like that will just fall off. Not a bad thing, it's just a part of its natural character, I guess. Ooh, okay. So yeah, we got these slabs that I need to go ahead and cut. My bowl's getting a little full, but I think I can get, I don't know. I don't like for it to go over the top of the bowl. This is what it looks like right now. So I may be able to get one bar in here, but once it gets kind of towards the top, I don't like for it to overflow. So as a matter of fact, that's good. This is enough for at least 2.5 weeks worth of soap. So I'll let that be. And then this last slab here, I'll let it go back in with the other half and store those two together. So the paper that I'm wrapping it in is the paper that it came in. So I'm just wrapping it back up. Now I do have saran wrap, so if you notice that the paper, it isn't sticking like it did before, you can just wrap it in your own saran wrap and that'll be that. But this is the label it came with. African black soap, 100% natural. Those benefits, again, it relieves acne and blemishes. Like I said, it will even your skin tone, prevents rashes, itching, dry, and scaly skin from developing, which is needed during these cold winters. Cleans pores and rejuvenates the skin, leaving your body fresh and clean. Clears up pimples, rashes, eczema, fungus, ringworm, acne, and body odor. Good grief. I don't think I ever read this label all the way through. Body odor. You can get this brick from Afrocentric in the West End. It used to be $20. Y'all know inflation going crazy. So now it's $25, $24.99 to be exact. And it's worth every penny. That's it. That's all. African black soap. And this is how it's done. 100% natural. And it smells like nature. It smells clean and woody at the same time. Like it smells like earthy, but it smells like soap. I don't know. I can't really describe it. And yeah, that's it. Afrocentric in the West End, black owned business. Go support. Deuces.